They say peace is priceless. Yet in Africa, peace has become a luxury item only the rich and the powerful can afford. Across our continent, the sound of birds has been replaced by the echo of gunfire. The laughter of children drowned by the cries of mothers. Villages that once danced to the rhythm of drums now tremble to the rhythm of bombs. Have you ever wondered why Africa, a continent so rich in land, culture, and spirit, is constantly at war with itself? Everywhere you turn, someone is fighting someone. In the east, rebels rise. In the north, terrorists spread. In the west, ethnic clashes burn like wildfire. And in the south, greed hides behind politics. It is as if peace has packed her bags and left the continent, leaving behind fear, displacement, and broken dreams. My brothers and sisters, what happened to a land where peace becomes a visitor, not a resident? What becomes of a generation that grows up knowing the sound of war more than the sound of love? That's what we are unpacking today, not to reopen old wounds, but to understand how we can finally start the healing. Welcome, friends. Today we are diving into the heart of Africa's most painful paradox, when peace becomes a luxury. By the end of this episode, you will discover why Africa seems trapped in a cycle of wars and unrest. How this conflict costs us more than lives, they steal our future. The silent forces that keep peace out of reach. And most importantly, how you and I become builders of peace in a land addicted to division. This is not a story of hopelessness. It is a call to rediscover Africa's greatest strength, our shared humanity. Because when brothers stop fighting, the farm grows again. And when the drums of war go silent, the drums of development can finally begin. Let me take you to a story that paints this tragedy in living color. A story that mirrors thousands of untold realities across our continent. In the heart of Sudan lived a young boy named Musa. He was only 12. But already life had carved deep lines into his eyes. His village was caught between two warring factions. One morning as the sun rose, gunfire erupted. By sunset, his world had changed forever. His school was burned down. His father never came back. His mother fled with him to a refugee camp miles away, carrying nothing but memories and little brother on her back. At night, Musa would whisper to his mother, "When will we go home?" And she would answer softly, "When peace returns." But peace never did. Years later, Musa became one of thousands of displaced youth, wandering lands that were once theirs, searching not just for food, but for belonging. And his story, it is not Sudan's story alone. It is Congo's, it is Somali's, it is Mali's, it is the Central African Republics, it is even Nigeria's, where peace visits but never stays. Now, let's peel back the layers of this tragedy, not to point fingers, but to open our eyes. Because every war begins with something small, and every peace begins with something, and every peace begins with someone willing to say enough. The roots of Africa's endless conflict run deep in politics, poverty, and power. Many wars begin not from difference, but from division. A handful of men chasing power ignite flames they cannot control. They use tribe, religion, and region as weapons, turning neighbor against neighbor. And what happens next? A nation divided cannot stand. The same people who shared rivers and markets suddenly draw sword across invisible lines. The colonial master drew borders, but we built the wall. Walls of mistrust, of greed, of vengeance. Why? As the old proverb says, when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. And for decades, ordinary Africans have been that grass, trampled under the feet of political elephants. But there is another price of conflict. One we rarely count. War doesn't only kill people, it kills progress. It robs children of education, farmers of their harvest, traders of their market. It destroys roads, hospitals, and hope. Every bullet fired is a school not built. Every bomb dropped is a bridge not repaired. And when peace disappears, development packs up and leaves. Investors flee, tourism dies, dreams crumble. We spend billions fighting wars, but pain is building peace. What a tragedy that we can afford to destroy, but not to develop. And then there is the wound that doesn't bleed, the emotional one. Generations of Africans have grown up in fear. Children who have never known the sound of silence. Women who have buried the husband. Sons and fathers. Men who have lost the will to rebuild. Conflict doesn't just break bones. It breaks spirit. And when a people lose hope, even peace feels like a fairy tale. But I want you to hear me clearly. The greatest battlefield is not the land, it is the mind. Until we make peace in our hearts, we will never find peace on our soil. Yet, amid all these shadows, there is a light. There are villages that have forgiven, communities that have rebuked, nations that have chosen peace over pride. Look at Liberia, for example, Rwanda and Sierra Leone, nations that were once soaked in blood, now rising from the ashes. They remind us that peace is not a miracle, it is a choice. African story is not doomed to war. We can rewrite it if we dare see peace not as a privilege, but as a responsibility. When we invest in dialogue instead of division, in unity instead of revenge, the drums of war will be replaced by the songs of progress. But peace doesn't just happen in a presidential palaces. It begins in the hearts and the homes of ordinary people like you and me. 1. Be a peacemaker in your circle. Stop spreading hate online and offline. Words can start wars or stop them. Choose peace in your speech. Bridge divides. Make friends across tribes, faiths and background. Unity starts with relationships. 3. Support peace projects. Volunteer, donate, or partner with organizations promoting peace education. Number 4. Teach forgiveness. Help the next generation understand that revenge builds graves, not nations. And number 5. Hold leaders accountable. That is the most important one. Demand governance that values dialogue over division, not crisis. Because when peace becomes everyone's mission, conflict loses its power. Now you might ask, can peace really return to a land that has known so much blood? The answer is yes, but only if we are willing to pay the price of reconciliation. Peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of justice. To end endless wars, we must address their roots: inequality, corruption, and exclusion. Peace cannot grow on hungry stomachs or in a broken system. When every citizen feels heard, when justice is not for sale, when leaders lead with love instead of greed, that's when peace will stop being a dream and start being our daily reality. Because the same energy we use to fight can be used to build. The same weapons that destroy can be replaced by words that heal. Africa doesn't need more soldiers, it needs more listeners. So, if this message resonates with you, don't let it end here. Share your thoughts in the comment section. What does peace mean to you? Spread this message by sharing this video. Someone somewhere needs this reminder. Like, follow, subscribe, and join this movement of minds that believe a peaceful Africa is possible. And get your copy of my book, When Peace Becomes a Luxury, where I dive deep into the real cost of conflict and the blueprint of rebuilding peace across our continent. Let's make peace viral. Let's make it louder than war. But before I go, here is my final challenge to you. The next time you hear about war, don't just sigh, speak up. The next time you see conflict, don't just walk away, be the bridge. Preach peace. Because silence is the oxygen that fuels violence. Africa will only know peace when her sons and daughters stop seeing enemies and start seeing families. As an African proverb says, if there is no enemy within, the enemies outside can do us no harm. Let us silence the guns not by fear, but by faith in each other. Let us plant peace where hatred once grew, because the future we dream of, a united, strong, and a prosperous Africa, will not be built by warlords, but by peacemakers. And maybe, just maybe, the next generation will say our fathers fought wars, but we built peace. Thank you for watching this video, and I believe you have learned a lot from this video. If you have learned a lot from this video, don't hesitate to share this video, make it go viral so that the children or the leaders of Africa will see the need to make peace in Africa. Thank you for watching, and please share it.